to today's mini masterclass. My name is Rebecca Mickey and I am a children's sleep consultant and author. And in today's mini masterclass, we're looking at what your child's short nap really means. Some things are very, very frustrating when it comes to parenting, and one of those things is when you spend longer preparing your child for their nap and helping them get to sleep, and that takes longer than they actually take the nap for. Very, very frustrating. Short naps are one of the most frustrating things out there when it comes to sleep. It doesn't give you really any time to do anything that you need to do. And then as well, it's not going to be great for your child if they are not getting the nap time sleep, that good quality sleep that they need during the day. So why is it that your child is struggling when it comes to their naps and they're taking short naps? So if your child is napping for 20 minutes, and we'll often see when a child naps for 20 minutes that wake up is a quick, urgent wake up where your child seems to be sleeping great, and they hit that 20-minute mark and then boom, wide awake, and it's a real big urgent wake up, and you may really struggle to get your child back down to sleep when that happens. 20-minute naps are often due to your child's brain being overly stimulated before you're trying to get them down for the nap. It can be really hard to get your child back down to sleep if this happens, but actually preventing this from happening is a fairly quick fix, and it's something that everybody can do. Introduce a walking wind down before you get started with your nap time routine. Now, everybody should have a nap time routine, 10, 15 minutes long. Same thing, same place, same order. Every time that you're at home, this will actually cue that sleep is going to be coming. Now, if you're introducing this walking wind down, this is going to start 5 to 10 minutes before you're going to get started with your nap time routine. You're going to scoop your child up from whatever it is that they are doing, and you are going to walk around with them. It's a slow, rhythmic walk for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes is perfect for this. You can look out the windows, you can look at pictures on the wall, you can go outside. And what this is doing is now your child is physically still because you are holding them. But we're keeping things sort of entertaining because we're slowly walking around and they are looking at things. This is going to help your child's brain to relax a little bit more. End your walking wind down where you are going to start your nap time routine. Generally, we're doing that in the nursery, in the bedroom. You're going to have your 5 minutes, 10 minutes walking wind down, going straight into starting your nap time routine. And I know we are adding this extra time on to the time that we're getting your child ready and then the time it's taking them to fall asleep. But if this means that we are avoiding a 20-minute nap, we could be heading towards an hour-and-a-half nap by introducing a 5-10 minute walking wind down. It is totally worth doing. If you see your child getting overly stimulated, their brain seems to be getting overly stimulated, and you'll see this often with infants. When they get that blank 1,000-yard stare, and they're not necessarily looking at anything exciting. It could be a chair leg. It could be some of their toys. But when they get that blank 1,000-yard stare, that is their brain becoming overly stimulated. If you see this before a nap or even just during your awake playtime, scoop your child up, spend a minute or two just walking around. They can go and play with that exact same thing again, but this just helps their brain to relax a little bit more. Think of the stimulation as just sort of like going up the stairs. They are going up the stairs and they are getting more and more stimulated. The end of the day, before that nap, they're right up here, and that's when they're going to struggle to fall asleep. If you see that they're getting overly stimulated as part of their playtime, you're going to do your walking wind down. You're going to bring them down a few more runs, a few more stairs. They're going to be playing again, going up again, and then before your nap time, you're going to bring them down a few more with your walking wind down and then your nap time routine. So that level of stimulation is much lower, and it is going to be easier for your child to fall asleep, but they're more likely to get a longer nap as well, going beyond that 20 minutes. So actually, walking wind down is a really good quick fix for preventing those 20-minute wake-ups. If your child's awake period is too short, their nap is going to be short as well. They just don't need a longer nap. So trying to figure out how long your child needs to be awake is a really good idea for actually getting some longer naps as well. Depends on how old your child is. It depends on their sleep personality and depends on a lot of things as to how long those awake periods need to be. So we have some general rule of thumb here, but every child is completely unique. But wouldn't even worry about trying to be stretching out awake periods or looking at awake periods for anything under 12 weeks old. So getting to about 12 weeks old, you then want to be maximum awake period of an hour and a half before your child is going to go down for their nap. As they're getting to about 4.5 months old, this can stretch out to 2 hours. As they're getting past 6 months old, we can stretch this out again a little bit more until they're on the 2-3-4 routine. 2-3-4, I love. It's one of my secret weapons when it comes to sleep. So if a child is over 6 months old, they're going to be awake for 2 hours before they go down for their first nap, awake for 3 hours before they go down for their second nap, awake for 4 hours before they go down for the night. Initially, as you're working on getting onto this daytime routine at 6 months old, they're going to need a cat nap in that 4-hour stretch because it's just too long. Once they get to about 7.5 months, 8 months, that cat nap will disappear. You'll know because you won't be able to help get your child down to sleep for the cat nap. Then they are ready for that longer awake period before going down. And then they are on the 2-3-4. 2 hours awake, 3 hours awake, 4 hours awake. Now, this gives us, with 3 hours total daytime sleep, a 12-hour day. Though most children do not need a 12-hour night, they actually do need less sleep at night time. You can see that you want to be on a variation of this: shortest awake period of the day, mid one, longest one at the end of the day. So figuring out what it is that your child needs there. But that is a really great routine until your child drops down to one nap, which is sometime between 12 and 18 months of age. The average is 15 months. Best way to actually shift your child to one nap is the exact opposite way of how you think. Now, we often think that we need to ditch our morning nap because we're going to keep our afternoon nap, because that's what children who are on one nap actually do, is they'll have that one nap normally after lunch. If your child is on 2 naps, they're having one in the morning and they're having a nap after lunch. So we often think that we need to ditch and we need to get rid of that morning nap and keep the afternoon one. And actually, it's this really tricky it's really tricky to do, to suddenly have your child awake until lunchtime. And the way that I like to do this is to push our morning nap towards lunchtime. Make our awake period first thing in the morning, gradually pushing that longer and longer. We're making that nap is going to be our one nap. That's going to happen after lunch. Our then after lunch nap, our afternoon nap, gets pushed into bedtime. This is an easier way to transition your child to one nap when they are ready to do so. Your child will continue with their one nap until they're sometime between 3 and 5 years old. So making sure that your child is getting down for their nap at that right time is going to be really important for them getting their naps. If your child has too long of an awake period, you can get a short nap. So too short of a wake period will be a short nap. Too long of a wake period can also cause a short nap, where your child is more likely to struggle to fall asleep and remain asleep. They're going to wake much more urgently, and they're going to be having a really short nap there. So you want to be making sure that your child is on the right daytime schedule, and it's going to be really tricky to try and figure this out. You want to look at how your child seems to be midway through their awake period. Don't look at how they are when they just wake up, either in the morning or from a nap, because a lot of us are not in the best of moods when we wake up. It takes us a little bit of time to fully wake up. And don't look at how your child is before you get them down for the nap. That's when we want them to be tired. You want to look at how they seem to be midway through your awake period. Do they seem to be tired and grumpy then? Then, okay, we need to have a change there. We need to be potentially changing our nighttime sleep. More often than not, we'll be changing our daytime sleep to accommodate for needing this extra sleep. So you want to look at that. Don't look at when your child wakes up, either from a nap or in the morning. Most of us are grumpy, and we need to be tired before we go down for sleep. So look at that midway point to see if you need to tweak your child's daytime routine at all. Now, of course, there are other things that can cause short naps, and that can be noise happening in the house. If you're trying to get a child down, there's an older sibling who is being really, really noisy, then that can wake your child up and that can cause a short nap. This is a tricky one because toddlers, preschoolers, or even infants are not great at being quiet when they need to be quiet, and so this can be a tricky one. One thing that you can do and may be really, really helpful is to play some white noise or even some brown noise or pink noise. There's lots of different colours of noise. Actually block out some of the noise in your house. Now, if you put this noise between where your child is sleeping and where the noise is going to come from, this can help block it out a little bit more. So if your child's bed is one side of the room and the door is here, you may have your white noise or your brown noise here, because this is then going to block out some of the noise that's coming from the room. Alternatively, if you're having noise coming from outside, you can have your white noise by the window there, and that can help block out some of the noise. Obviously, trying to have any other children doing some quiet activities, not always possible, I get that, but if your child is being disturbed, then this is going to cause us to wake up. So that could also cause a short nap. Short naps are one of the most frustrating things, because we need your child to nap. They need to nap, and you need that time as well, because you have many things that you need to be doing. It's actually fairly easy to troubleshoot the reasons why your child is taking a short nap. Have a look and watch out for another video that I have about the short nap cure, which is going to help you really troubleshoot your way to longer naps.